So I wanted to start by asking you, how did you, like, what was your first experience as a fan in comics? Like, what did you kind of...
As a fan or as a reader?
As a reader, as a fan, whatever you were reading that kind of got you into comics.
First comic I remember actually reading was when I'm about 4 years old. And
Oh,
I'm
wow.
at a cousin's house on Long Island. And he had this coverless copy of this book with this guy in red spandex who was chasing after the slowest guy in the world. And it wasn't until years later that I realized that was Showcase 4.
Wow.
So
That's the turtle
that's as
and the
far
Flash.
back as it goes.
Yeah, that's incredible. So that was like the Flash and the Turtle.
Yeah.
That's really cool to kind of know that you kind of grew up on the same kind of comics we all did. Because I feel like my first comic book was a Flash book. So.
Oh yeah, yeah.
After that, like, what was your first kind of like working in comics job? Like, how did you know you kind of wanted to work in comics?
Oh, I always wanted to work in comics, all my life. There was never a time when I didn't want to do comics. The first way I started was doing what we used to call mini comics, small press comics. So they were homemade jobbers that, you did on a Xerox machine, because printing like that had become easily accessible during the mid-70s, I think, or something like that. So that's basically where I started. And then I went on from there to doing like Normalman for Aardvark Vanaheim, and eventually Marvel and then Image.
So let's go back to your Normalman days, and you started that, like, before that you were doing like little ash cans in the back of Cerberus, is that right? Like little kind of add-on stories, was that, do you remember?
In Cerebus, yeah, there were, I had done one story in Cerebus 50.
Okay.
That had come from those small press comics. And then I met Denny Lubert at San Diego Comic-Con. And she had talked to me before the show about possibly doing the book for them, but had told me that Dave Sim was kind of worried that I'd get them into trouble because my comics were not safe for work. So I came up with something really innocuous. I lived in a part of San Diego called Normal Heights, and I came up with Normalman.
There was also an Image book you did with Normalman not too long ago
Oh yeah.
as well.
There were a couple of them. There was one that was the 20th anniversary or something
Yeah.
like that, and then we just reprinted Normalman, Megaton Man in the back of Splitting Image, 80-page giant, and then I did a collection of all the Normalman stuff called The Complete Normalman, which someone asked if I do another Normalman story, what are we going to call it? And I said, well, The Completer Normalman, just makes sense.
It makes sense to keep it growing, and
Yeah.
then it's going to be the completest after that.
And The Completist and The Completer, and yeah.
So what was your first job writing in comic books? Like how did you know to write and draw? Like, what was the process like as an
I always
artist?
did it.
You
Just always did both.
Like in
Yeah.
high school, in elementary
Yeah, always
school?
did both. A lot of the stories that I wrote in the autobiographical books were stories that were told orally, and got the timing down and everything, and then when I was ready to draw them, I knew exactly how to do it.
Yeah, because it's in your head.
Yeah,
you don't have
but
to.
I always did both. They were never separate to me.
So, did you practice just drawing in class and kind of just getting better, or did you attend like a school formally, or?
No, I never attended any kind of formal school. I just drew on everything, whether it was moving or not. So.
I love